And Brad just looked at me in the eyes one day. He's like, Matthew, just post your face every day. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a snippet. I don't care if it's just a piece of a project, but post your face, get your voice, just get you in front of the screen. And that's super uncomfortable for me. I'm like, no, I don't want to be in the screen. He's like, well, you need to, because everybody else wants to see you on the screen. That's what they love about me. That's what they're gonna love about you. And so sure enough, I'm like, all right, again, copy paste. So for 6 months, I haven't missed a day. And I've grown from 440 to 27,000 plus.
27,000?
Yeah. It's almost 28,000.
Dude.
In 6 months.
What's up, buddy?
What's up?
How are you?
I'm great.
4 or 5. Did we figure out what it was, or we don't know? We lost count after 4.
1, 2, this is 4.
4.
This is 4.
You've been to 4 contractor coalitions.
Yeah.
I mean, that deserves a handshake.
That's right.
So have they been all sequential?
Almost all sequential. So my first one was Austin.
Yep.
And then after Austin, went to Boston.
Yep.
Then Omaha, and now here.
So what have you seen in your business? What things have you applied that have made kind of the biggest difference? Because you're a fairly new business. You're 2 years in.
Almost 2 years in, yeah.
I am so envious of like where you're at in your career in life to be able to like start with this kind of information. So wow, you were 1 year in. You're basically just starting.
Yeah.
What made you say, hey, I'm gonna go start with all this information from day one?
So I had first started in May of 23, and I just missed the Scottsdale Coalition. And Brad reached out to me, he's like, dude, where were you? I'm like, bro, I didn't even know it was there. Like, I just wasn't entrenched into like the online, the Instagram. I wasn't there yet. And so, you fast forward maybe a month or two after May, and I was like, there's another one coming up? Okay, I'm going. And I made the investment, right? And it was like huge. And I'm like, dude, what am I doing? Like, what if this doesn't work out? And I had actually originally thought to myself, well, if I'm not gonna bet on myself, how can I expect anybody else to bet on me, right? And so I'm really big on investing in yourself. And once I did that, and once I continue to do that, because I keep coming, and people are like, why would you keep coming? Why would you keep paying? Why wouldn't I, right? Like, because I want my business to grow. Now, I think there's a happy medium for that, but I wanted to do what all of you guys were doing, and I thought to myself, well, if they're already doing this and it works, why would I try and reinvent the wheel? So I'll just take what works, copy paste, add my personal touch to it, and then we go forward from there. And that's really all I've done. I think that a lot of the information I've learned from every one of you guys has been just everything I've needed, because I didn't start with any sort of basis or foundation outside of my knowledge of construction. So
I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
What are looking back now, what are a few things that have helped your business or even transformed it? Do you have any stories where you're like, hey, I applied this and this is what happened?
I would say the social media for sure. Back in Omaha last year, not last year, this year.
6 months ago, yeah.
6 months ago, I had 440 followers. And like, I was following 440 people. I'm like, this is stupid.
1 for 1.
Yeah, 1 for 1. And everybody said, oh, you just gotta keep posting. No, I don't, because every time I post, I get like 10 or 12 likes. And Brad just looked at me in the eyes one day. He's like, Matthew, just post your face every day. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a snippet. I don't care if it's just a piece of a project, but post your face, get your voice, just get you in front of the screen. And that's super uncomfortable for me. I'm like, no, I don't want to be in the screen. He's like, well, you need to, because everybody else wants to see you on the screen. That's what they love about me. That's what they're gonna love about you. And so sure enough, I'm like, all right, again, copy paste. So for 6 months, I haven't missed a day. And I've grown from 440 to 27,000 plus.
27,000?
Yeah. It's almost 28,000.
Dude.
In 6 months. And so now I haven't necessarily seen all these people come out of the woodworks and say, hey, I saw your stuff on Instagram,
Right.
I want to hire you. But I've had 7 people say, from your work on Instagram and what you're doing, when can I fit into your schedule? I have this project, or I have a friend, reach out to this friend. Hey,
that is wild growth.
Yes. And
it's
scary, because right. I'm blowing up everywhere. I don't know why specifically. I'm not doing anything different other than posting a reel every day, posting myself, if that maybe once a week, because I'm still not like comfortable with that yet.
Yeah.
And it's just like weird.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want my face all over the place, but it works.
That's what people want, yeah.
That's what people want. And instead of me focusing on what it is I think people want, I need to just start leaning into what they want. And so now that I have measurable data to see, hey, this is what people are eating up, now I tailor all of my social media to, oh, they love this project with these style, captions and this music. Okay, I'm gonna make another one of a different project, same style.
Are you managing your own?
I manage all my own social media. I had a guy outsource it for like 2.5, 3 weeks, and I got hacked and all sorts of stuff, like all sorts of issues were coming into my Instagram. Yeah, and so I was just like, bro, whatever you did not work. We're gonna go back to square one, and it's just me. So it's a little bit more work. Yeah. But if I am cruise development, then I can't put somebody else behind the scenes trying to run cruise development. It has to be me. It
has to be you. Wow. And I know Morgan, every one of us have, different thoughts and processes of how we do what we do. Morgan gives a lot of information out specifically about it. What other things have you sort of implemented besides sort of a social media strategy?
I think a lot of it has just been like, instead of chasing money, it's chasing relationships. So when I first started my business, I was like, oh, I gotta make money. And I think a lot of that, just the vibe and just the energy you give off when you're just chasing to try and pay bills or trying to, make ends meet, people feel that. And people don't get the personal touch of, hey, I'm here, I'm a business professional, and how can I help you? As opposed to me, showing up, well, this is what I do, this is what I special in, this is what my price is, when can I start? And it's just, it was very...
It's you're right. We can sense either desperation, or it seems transactional. Yes. It doesn't have the same warmth. I was just chatting. One of the things I love about Contractor Coalition is all the conversations that happen between the sessions, and in some ways, are some of the highlights, right? And one of the conversations that was brought up was, I was talking to Reese from Adaptive last night on the way to dinner, and we were just talking about, when you don't have the not threat, but when you don't have, if money is tight, it's sort of in the back of your mind. It affects your judgment when you feel pressure, and we've all been there, and you'll be there multiple times in your career. So it's something that's just a reality of being an entrepreneur. But, let's say a client comes to you, past client has a warranty issue that's maybe 50-50 on whether it should even be covered. When money is tight, you don't, even if they're a great client, there's a part of your brain that's like, man, how am I going to pay for this? It's clutching. You draw in versus come out.
Right.
And but when you're doing well, when you're financially stable, now going back to the abundance. I got you, Matthew. No problem. Let me take care of this for you. Yes. And now it's exponential, that growth. And it is a mindset, but it's also you have to realize what's happening to sort of change your behavior. Anyway.
Well, and chasing that relationship, right? And helping myself realize that, well, just because I don't know everything that all of you bigger, builders know, it doesn't mean that I can't. It just means I don't know it yet. And so, in the beginning, I didn't give myself enough credit for what I did know. And I thought, well, I'm just out here trying to make it, right? And I come from a long lineage of, my dad was a builder. I grew up on a job site at 5 years old, cleaning job sites, spotless, not a single nail on the site. It was very regimented, you're gonna stay here until the work's done. And sometimes it was all day, but I got it done. And I started there, and then I got into the trades. I was doing the work hands-on, framing, drywall, roofing, you name it, I've done it. And so I have an experience level where it's not just, oh, I know my book smarts and I know how to build because somebody told me how to. No, I've seen it and I've had to physically do it. And so I've, through trial and error, figured out, well, it's always easier to take the high road as opposed to, oh, I'll try and do it cheaper. Oh, I'll try and do it quicker. There is no such thing as cheap and quick. You're gonna do it right, or you're gonna do it wrong. Yeah. And we're figuring that out in the building industry now. We're uncovering, and what I primarily do is remodel. So I get into these projects and I'm like, man, the fact that this wall stood up that long and there's no vertical rebars coming out of it and it's just stacked brick and it stood for 70 years, right? Well, now I'm gonna knock it down and build something better, I hope. That's the whole idea. And so having the mindset of, I wanna grow, but I also don't wanna grow too fast. I just wanna grow in the right way is what has kept me coming back, because I know that they've added you into the mix, and you were in the mix in the first two that I was there, right? And so now that you've been in the mix, now we get more information, we have more experience. They're bringing Brad into it, they're bringing all sorts of other guys, and I just get to sit back and be fed.
Yep.
And like for me, that's as good as it gets.
Yep.
This beats the best day at work. This beats the worst day at work, because here I'm still working, but I'm growing. And it's not necessarily financially, but I'm growing here.
I mean, I think everyone, as Nick talks about all the time, like, Nick was saying that, to be up on the stage and to be, in a point of leadership, that it keeps him sharp on his game. That's what he finds. Everyone, I think, has different reasons, and he was just very vocal about it. And I kind of think you have to keep innovating or die. BlackBerry.
Innovating or die.
Yeah, right. I mean, I
up.
think they had like a 90% market share, like dominant, and they did a whole Netflix deal on it. And like after like 3 years, it went from the top in the world to like it was out of business. Yeah. And so I love your mindset. Like regardless of what happens, you'll do really well with it, and you already have, because your mindset is obviously very trained for adoption and growth. And we were just commenting the other day because. I think I've gone to 6 of the 8. I missed Austin and I missed Scottsdale. But the rest of them,
you've been to all the rest of them. Okay.
Yeah, because I started at the first one, because I was an attendee first.
Oh,
so I was an
okay.
attendee for 4, just like you.
Okay.
And then I was joking the other night. I'm the dog that shows up at your house, for years on end. You're like, well, I guess we're gonna adopt the dog. That's pretty much what happened. They're like, well, we can either bring him in or he's just gonna keep coming.
Well, that's kind of how I feel, and that's why I keep telling Brad. I'm like, hey, dude, like if there's ever a spot for me to be a part of the group, like to pour in, I'm so for it, because I love teaching people about it, and I love that people want to come and ask me about it. It's kind of like a weird space for me, because I'm like, dude, I don't know, go ask them, but no, like people are seeing it now.
Yep.
I'm having people hit me up on Instagram, hey, will you mentor me? I'm like, what?
You're like,
I can't even mentor myself,
yeah, exactly.
But people see the efforts that you pour into yourself, even when it's really hard for you to see that. And I'm like ultra critical on myself, so I'm learning to kind of get out of that phase. But surrounding myself with you guys, right? Rubbing shoulders with people who see the value in what I do, outside of just from the build perspective, but who I am as a person. We all, our personalities all vibe together really well. And so for anybody that wants to build their business, I mean, this is where you have to come. Because if you don't, you sure can build it, but it's probably gonna be a lot harder.
I like what Mike Weaver had, this really interesting turn of phrase that now it's my new favorite line: compressed time. I don't know if you caught that when he was giving his little intro the other day, but he's like, by us knowing each other and knowing 10 other people, like by sharing stories, we're basically compressing time by sharing our knowledge. Like think of how much, like the amount of information you have consumed, regardless of how much you've implemented or where you're at in some way, is irrelevant. Like, when I first went to my first Contractor Coalition, it was 18 years. And so I'd experienced a lot of the stuff. Yeah. And I was like, wow, but in the last 3 years, my business looks so different, both operationally, and to be clear, like we did really good work, but I'm much more profitable. Yeah. I'm way more just dialed in on what we're doing, and I have a much clearer vision of where I'm going. But like, you're doing it at year 1 and 2. And I was like, because when I was giving my intro on opening night, I was like, in some ways, I'm not, envy is not the right word. There's a part of me that would love to go back to the beginning of my career and sit where you're sitting, like, or even go to my first Contractor Coalition. Like, I'm just so excited for the people, like you've been here 4 times, but like even for the first person, they come for the first time, and like I bet you're kind of like, oh, buckle up, Buttercup. You are about to get drenched with information.
Yep.
But it's kind of exciting because you've changed so much. So I think this excitement just keeps growing.
It does. Every time. It's different excitement every time, because I know, it's a different city, so there's gonna be a different vibe. There's more people, different people. Like this is a bigger session than Omaha was, but the same thing. I'm learning, if I'm not learning from you or Brad or Morgan or Nick or Tyler, I'm learning from 1 or 10 other contractors that I'm meeting in the room. And we're all just collabing about, hey, well, this is where I'm at in my business. What did you do here? What did you do there? Like, I mean, there's one guy that I might be able to do some work for, period, again, another general contractor in my same market.
Right.
Where it's just, dude, I'm here to help. Like, and I think that people see that, and they don't see like the whole, he's just here for the money. I just want to help, make a difference. because then we all make a difference together.
But I think because ownership, entrepreneurship is lonely, the idea that we get to collaborate with other people in our field is like really exciting and really invigorating, because if you're alone all the time, all of a sudden you're part of a team, and you're like, well, I didn't know I could be part of a team. I thought we just had to all be, Nick used to use this analogy, he hasn't used it in this session, but like silos. It's like silos in a cornfield, they're all full of grain, but they don't talk to each other because all these walls are up. Well, when the walls come down, they're all just grain. Yeah, and so like, let's take down these fences and just share. That's why, personally, that's why I have, the Curious Builder podcast, why we do the collectives that you're a part of.
Yeah.
And like, it's funny, since you said you want to get involved, like the collectives, do you know that every ambassador I have in the country, I think we're in 5 locations now, we're going to go to 2 more next year in 26, they are all Contractor Coalition alumni.
Yeah.
And I did that deliberately.
You did, okay.
Because I either have met them personally or I know them. Actually, I've met them all personally through the Contractor Coalition. But we have not had a single bad apple that I'm aware of in the 3 years that the Contractor Coalition's come, because you don't come here if you know everything. You don't come here if you have an ego. You can't fit in the door. Very small doors.
Yeah.
And so that spirit, that idea of abundance and sharing and collaboration, like it's ingrained in the culture from the leadership. It really started with Brad, Morgan, and Nick, and then the rest of us. And like Tyler and I are ambassadors of that as well. Like we love it.
Yeah.
It's the most liberating thing I've ever done in my career.
Yeah.
It's just like share everything.
Yeah. Well, that's why I want to be a part of it. That's why it's like, because I see how much closer it's brought all of you guys over the, 3 years that I've been involved, right? Yeah. And it's just incredible, because not only are all of your businesses thriving more, but you just continue to level up, and everybody's continuing to push the envelope as far as what quality looks like. And it's not even quality, it's perfect. Like we're all going for perfection on our builds, right? Yeah. No matter what the cost is. That's what we're going for.
Well, and I mean, everyone has a different goal on what perfection is. I like to strive for a high goal. I actually personally don't like the word perfection, because I feel like it's sort of an unattainable thing.
Impossible.
Yeah, and so, but I like the idea that you're always striving for the Kaizen, the 1% improvement, like just keeping getting
every
better.
Day. 1% every day, and like I tell my kids, I talk to my wife about it, like you guys, we're here not because we're gonna become perfect, immediately. No, it's just it's a process, and it's not attainable here, you're right, it's not. But if we strive for perfection, if we strive to be good, if we strive to be good people, I think people are going to see, oh, well, not only are they making a 1% difference here, but outside, outside of those walls, outside of the people that we're interacting with, whatever the people that we interact with, then go and share with those people. Well, now we've interacted and made a difference with somebody else that wasn't even a part of an event.
Well,
right?
and I think what's so wonderful about this circle, it's called almost like spherical 360 growth. It's like, I think Allison Case Anderson was talking about it, like you grow 3-dimensionally in all, and I really like this picture. Yeah, but it's kind of beautiful. It's like your company, your person, your life, your around you, but like, you're coming to Curious Builder Boot Camp down in Costa Rica. You were one of the first people to sign up, and we're sold out now. And like, that's a whole nother ball of wax. But that idea, you probably don't know this, that idea that I had been sort of laying dormant in my brain for a while. I was at the second Contractor Coalition Summit in Huntington Beach, and Caleb McDonald, who's also coming, you'll meet him, he's from Ontario, Canada.
Oh, okay.
And, or Toronto. And he and I were out running, like I was running this morning in inclement weather. It was snowing and rain, it was awesome. At this point you almost do it because it's miserable. That's kind of the point.
That's why you go, you're like, how wet can I get today?
Exactly, actually it wasn't too bad. But anyway, we're running in the beach. It was like 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Sand is being picked up, shoved in our face, and it was truly miserable. And I'm like, this is dumb, but it was. Have you ever done something that's so dumb? Yes. And you're like, I was like manically laughing. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like you couldn't even run. The beach wind was so strong, and the sand was in your face. You couldn't see, and you're like holding your hand. I mean, it was truly stupid. And Caleb and I still, 3 years later, still talk about it all the time, because it's like you remember, almost like when you have a difficult situation in work, or like a client, like those scars inform your future. This was sort of a positive mental scar, I guess. And so that was one of the seed thoughts for boot camp, because I'm like, well, wait a minute. you have all these people at Contractor Coalition, and when you get up early in the morning before we start, I see people in the gym.
Some of
you're
us
in the gym.
don't, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're at the gym, and like more and more people are doing that.
Yeah.
And
I've noticed that since I started going, and like people, like since I start posting about it, like everybody else is doing. I'm just trying to like be part of what
it's a community.
And it keeps me accountable, right? And it's like nobody's asking me to post a video or post a photo of myself every day at the gym, but I'm doing it to help myself keep accountable. And then other people are like, bro, you're not missing. Like, I know I can't miss.
Well, and like I did in my presentation, well, you weren't there for that part. So the wellness deal, there's a year ago, we did a Hard 75 group. Do you know what this,
the 75,
yeah. So I did that with half of the people in the room were there. And so now, but that was a year ago. We still have the same text thread. We still text each other every morning. We still do it. We're not doing the Hard 75 criteria, but it's still the accountability, the social interaction of this.
Awesome.
And they're builders all over the country on. I'll add you to the thing.
You should add
Yeah,
to
it's
it.
super fun.
And that's why, again, it's the community. It's the whole, like, you mentioned something about I'm probably growing in different areas of my life, right? Something my wife has said to me, she's like, in the last year, you've gone from where you were to this now. And everybody, like, your capacity is grown and your, bandwidth is grown. And I'm sitting back thinking to myself, yeah, you're right, it has. I don't even know how. Because I already feel like I'm Gumby. I'm being stretched in 100 different directions, right? But I feel like I have the elasticity to go ahead and just allow that to stretch, come back, recenter, get stretched, come back, recenter. And it's only because now I'm finally pouring into myself. And it took me it's been 15 years since I've been in the gym consistently, but now that I finally am, if I don't go, oh my gosh, it's bad.
Well, you have amazing positive energy, right? We love to laugh. I mean, I was cracking you guys up in the car.
Dude,
and I do. The problem is like once I know you'll laugh, like I'll go to great lengths to just see what I can do. It's like you and Brad are really, like Nick and Tyler are very much harder to get to laugh.
Oh, they are.
But you two are my people, like Jim
We're too
Carrey.
easy.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, and it's, everybody tells me, dude, your laugh is infectious.
It is.
And I'm like, bro, I just let it all out.
Just let it go.
You gotta go.
Just let it go. I mean,
about having fun, and I feel like if I'm just gonna come here and be like super like focused and lasered, and
dialed in,
I'm gonna miss the whole point, because if we're not having fun, we're not doing it right.
Well, there's a lot of joy. I think one thing that people don't understand, and like, yes, business is hard, and it's not that there's not like do hard things and all that, but like you can have a lot of joy. And I think what's been so liberating for me personally is like knowing that there's a community, a camaraderie among the people across the country. Like, it's not about, like, it's super cool that you've had this explosive growth on social media, and to know that it's uncomfortable for you to do it, but when it's authentic and it's real, and then I think that's what's sort of amazing. I think a lot of people on the outside would look in at social media, like I was just talking to another builder this morning, and there was a hater, and they're like, oh, you have a video camera following you. Like, they don't get it. That's not the point. You're not doing it from a vanity metric or for whatever. You're just basically sharing a part of your life, and by being real about it, that's what fuels the growth. I mean, I think I was just listening to Noah and Morgan talk about, their strategy, and they were saying, like, depending on what your pitch is, like, they were encouraging builders to, like, speak to your homeowners. Yeah. Don't speak, unless you're doing brand deals. I mean, obviously, if you have brand deals with, whoever your brand partners are.
I'm not that cool yet.
Yeah, you are.
I'll get there.
You'll get there. And and you are that cool. But like the point is then it's a different, like you can actually do both audiences.
Yeah.
But I guess kind of like that idea, like begin with the end in mind.
Yeah.
Also, like think of like who your audience is. Anyway, we've gone down all kinds of wormholes on this one.
Yeah. Well, it's good. I mean, it's good. You understand. And like, my biggest thing is I'm just grateful to be here. Like, you guys pump me up. You guys help me become a better person, a father, a husband, man, a business owner, like friend, all those things. And it's not about trying to be like anybody. It's just opening up my own capacity to finally be myself wholly, instead of just being like,
being the best version of yourself is the best thing.
Yeah.
And you got to convince the person in the mirror that, you're good with that.
I'm still working on that.
Yeah.
Almost there though.
Yeah. Well, you're doing good. Love having you.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll see you in January.
I'll be here.
And then we'll see you in April.
Again in April, and then again in October.
Yeah. If you're interested in attending the Contractor Coalition in the future, please head to contractorcoalitionsummit.com or follow us on Instagram to find out more.